we move further into the Magic City, our way to the Magic City, and I'm assuming we get our licenses, right? The only way to progress any further north is for that to kind of happen, so our mages here, FRIEREN and FRIEREN, have to work towards that. We only have to be accompanied by one, I believe, so not both of them end up having to go out of their way here to actually get this, and I'm just interested, I guess, to see how this arc is going to kind of be presented. I don't know if it's short, I don't know if they plan for it to be the entirety of the core, no idea, but we're going to kind of just go into it and end up seeing how that's going to progress, and I'm excited to see what comes. This is a Toho show. It will be blocked at some point. The reaction will be moved from YouTube. If you still want to watch it a couple weeks later, go ahead and check the link in the description, and you'll be able to still find the reaction to that later on. If not, everybody who's watching now, things are just going to be normal for the time being. If you like it all, like and subscribe to me on to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave me comments about this series. Go on with episode. Are we on 17 or 18? 18. 18. The mage exam. Oh shit. The Northern Lands. No, you're got it. Hmm. You'll be able to use it for a lifetime. Oh, what the fuck? Nah, you could. Probably because it's dangerous as fuck up there. Mm. And we don't have a priest, so. Look what you did. Yeah. I remember him saying that too. It was episode 5. Episode 6, actually. What a fucking shot, dude. Mm. What a way, bro. You spoke to me. And then, oh, oh, the boy. The boy. Jubel. I know we just met her, but I might be in love with her. I might be. We'll see. Mm. Self-defense, yeah. Okay. Are you gonna come with us? Are you gonna warn us? No, other way. 3 years. Oh, Farn. Show them the old thing you got. Good luck, brother. Well, it's the sacrifice we're gonna have to make, Fern. No snags. Hmm. Show them the artifact you got. They might know that. Oh, try it. There's an old person here. If he knows what this is, you should just get certified instantly. She shouldn't have to. She should already be considered one. Never mind. Still gotta take it. He's a historian. When were you given it? Give us some. Look how proud she is of it. Even someone who's been as long around as long as him. Hmm. Why get certified when we know? Give her that confidence. Yeah. Is Fern taking it with us? I actually need to know this. Fern's what, third? Yeah. Hmm. 45 total in first class. Damn. All for the risk of getting it. The golden age that we had of mages. Okay, Fern's definitely taking it with us. Is Stark gonna have a role here? Or is he just like here? Happy birthday. How is she in that position? Move forward. It's fucking time, boys. It's go time. Oh my god. Yeah, this is like the most stacked year they've ever fucking seen, I bet. Mmm. Oh my god. Was not aware of that. Damn. Damn. Mmm. Who are you? Are we gonna be on different teams? Oh fuck. Second party. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're gonna be with you, Will, or Furnace. One of us will be. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is our squad. Oh no, Fern, no. Whoa. Okay. Oh my god. Just screw everyone as a team. I love putting somebody like FRIEREN to have to deal with these. There we go. Just acting like the motherly figure that she's been acting towards. Clearly. I can't keep doing this. I'm more worried about Fern. You make it all too easy. Watch the fucking sky. Oh, what's in the sky? Hmm. Ah, excellent teamwork. That was easy. It just squeezes its way out. Or does it fucking self-destruct? Oh, clearly. Okay. There had to be something. I was gonna say, catching a bird doesn't seem too hard. Teamwork. Hmm. We use that to our advantage. They might fight a lot, but they're capable. Everybody here is capable. And back to this. See, you putting off the fighting between Fern and Stark all that time on to sign is coming back to bite you here. You don't know how to handle it. You need to take those lessons. I really want to know what's happening with the other groups. I thought they were just gonna struggle to fucking wake her up. What the fuck is that? Why couldn't this be the fucking bird we needed to capture? Okay, well that was why. We got fucking giant fucking birds in the sky flying around, huh? She's always there to help you in the time of need, huh? Hmm. But she does. So it's a situation where you just don't like her, but you can rely on her, or you trust her. Hmm. You're the type of person who thinks that's the case. It's gonna be here all fucking day. I'm not gonna be able to pull one out. Hmm. That's becoming a fucking pain. Hmm. That's like a critical moment. There you go. Can we push her into the water too? Mm, we begin our typical shonen exam as we I don't know, we have our exam to become first class mages here. This works many good ways, like for driving the story forward after the point of this, for the exam itself. One of the ways that works really well is only one of us need to win. So we displayed early on, right, the issues that can kind of come with taking this, right? The deaths and the injuries and the things that can kind of come along with it. So there's one thing that we need to just pray for, and it's Fern and FRIEREN come out of this not harmed in any sort of way, which is entirely possible. And I mean, it's the plot conveniences and stuff like that. It's entirely likely. But the show has been decent with like presenting depth and like doing these things that I don't see like it being an impossible thing for us to do something like harming Fern in some sort of way. And we do add that like layer of like scaring you a little bit, right? By adding Yubel with her, right? And having her in her group, this person who is been being built up as this person who isn't afraid to go out of her way and kill people and just purely evil and having bad intentions. So it's not like add the question, I guess, that we can go down that route or do something to Fern and cause a big delight in the ability of us kind of going forward here. We're also not necessarily against the idea, or I don't think that we can be against the idea that we don't let anybody actually pass this or let any of them become these first class mages, and instead we have to either just wait and retake the test at some point, or we just like have these other ways and the methods that FRIEREN kind of presented that we can kind of go about by hiring somebody, because that can work perfectly where somebody, we none of us get it, and then somebody within the group here actually does, one of the people on our team, and we end up hiring them or working with them, and you know, common journey of being able to like be accompanied by them while going up north. So there's plenty of opportunities and different ways that they can go. The typical way and probably the likely way is both of them end up passing no issue, and even if they don't, one of them ends up doing so, and then we'll be okay. FRIEREN and Fern, that is, and then things are just kind of good from that point on. I think that's like the typical, we're going to write the story and do something like that. I think I would like the route of, I don't know actually which way I would like it, because I would like the story to go in many different directions. So it's interesting to, I guess, think about the direction that we could go and how we could handle that if we wanted to change it up a little bit, because we could do like Fern wins, or Fern becomes first class mage in this, right? And FRIEREN doesn't. Where exactly does that place our characters afterwards? Because it's not like Fern's gonna look at like she's more powerful or more capable or whatever it is than FRIEREN, right? She's just gonna believe that she got lucky or like whatever worked in her favor throughout this. Is FRIEREN gonna be kind of put off by her own abilities and a little bit like in fear going forward with certain things? I find that hard to believe. So it's like the route that we would take if we go there, I just don't necessarily see. But I think like we can just go different routes and make it end up being fun. I'm not going to speculate, I guess, on all the different ones, because it doesn't matter if I go into detail or not. We'll just see as things kind of progress themselves. But the second thing that I want to say that we do actually work towards here is splitting up Fern in the situation. FRIEREN, we've been able to see, and she's had long journeys and stuff before, and while not necessarily being with a lot of people and having to deal with them over the years, being put in a position unfamiliar with the people that it is that she's around, and having to act out or, you know, be just put in this different position that she's used to, is left here having to grow as a person when it comes to this, and being able to actually see the things that she's capable of while not having anybody to kind of hold her hand or be around her, as we can kind of see back with the last episode, her always being there as that emotional support and whatever it is for Fern. I don't think that it matters as much for her because of how long that she's lived and everything. I think it matters more for Fern in that situation, as we can see her emotional support in this situation is probably isolated from her, especially in this first round. We don't know how the further like, or how the test is gonna, you know, go on further along, but in this first round we do get to see that Fern herself is going to be able to work with these other people, how she's going to be able to, how exactly this works towards progressing her as a person, her ability to communicate and actually properly work with people, as we've already seen all the issues and stuff that she kind of ends up having with Stark at different moments. and how she ends up being, working with them, working in team environments. There's like many things that she's going to have to get used to and actually learn, and all this stuff can kind of help improve it. And I think that this arc specifically is like centered around improving her own ability while possibly giving some extra motivation and not motivation, but extra confidence, I guess, in FRIEREN and her own abilities, due to it seeming like she holds this stuff kind of close to her and remembering the times that she has been lost, I guess, in comparison to other mages and stuff that she's gone against, citing the numerous times that that's happened, with half of them basically being human and half of them not, but also allowing her to kind of see maybe if she does do well here, how far it is that she actually has come, in comparison to those other moments, and actually being more capable than plenty other people at this point, or maybe feeling like she still has room to grow and actually will strive to kind of try a little bit more, be a bit more cautious in certain situations. So I think that we can set it up in a variety of ways, and we can make this work extremely well by the end of it, and actually have lessons and things that can be properly taught throughout the entirety of what we have here at present. I do get worried what we're doing with Stark, because he's not involved. So is he gone, or like is he done the season? You know, like where are we heading with him? Because we're kind of locked in this. I'm assuming we'll move to different areas, and I'm assuming that the test doesn't just like stop and we have days before the next part or something like that. So I'd be under the assumption that we're kind of just done with Stark for the time being, which is a bit unfortunate. And I really like Stark, so that's going to be not something I'm too excited about. But I mean, sometimes you do have to make sacrifices like that to move the story in different directions and isolate people from being with others, or, you know, actually get you to be able to do these things, and you have to do stuff like that. So it's not the worst thing. It's just I'm going to miss the guy if that is the case. FRIEREN talking about getting bested by all these other elves and stuff, or not other elves, other mages and stuff, over time. I believe one of them she did cite was an elf. So there's plenty of people that we can still come in contact with, some of them being monsters. I'm assuming all those are either killed at this point or are in a similar situation to Qual, right, where we can actually go back and get him, because maybe we were able to just kind of turn him into stone in the moment, right, and we're able to actually go back and have her defeat them, as we've already seen the progress that's been made by her, when it actually comes to that, in that whole situation, being able to actually finally finish and kill him off and progress the magic and everything up to that point, already in the past. So I think that this can be things where maybe we have already defeated those people in those moments, or maybe she can go back now and retrace her steps at some point later and be able to. The mention of all the humans you'd assume are all dead by this point, so she's not going to be able to get past them, but it does show us a layer of don't underestimate the other people who are human, and don't kind of underestimate yourself as Fern, because it is possible for you to do something even with all the years and experience and everything that I kind of have, as mana itself isn't just the one thing that you have to actually come up with, and you have to properly have strategies and things that go into it, and there's a variety of different things. Her citing an elf as well as another person, I'm assuming is someone that we're going to run into. Definitely not Craft. It wouldn't make any sense, because I'm assuming they would probably recognize each other, but they don't. So we're going to end up having to figure out that person. I'm assuming that's the person that we see in the OP, as they're kind of getting older and they're transitioning in, and we kind of see them in this frame back here, I believe, too. All the way at the end on the throne, I'm assuming is the person that she was talking about in this moment, and this is like groups of people that actually happened with. We talk a little bit more about what's to come. I think this moment of her being able to only see half the sky and being blocked out here is a fantastic actually fantastic, and how neither of the other two even have like a care in the world that she actually just said that, I think is fantastic. We get to see Craft again, but before we end up seeing him, we get introduced to Ubel, who is a mage, who is somebody who has been told to us has actually tested for, I guess, second class, and she ended up failing due to the fact that she killed the examiner who was first class. So that's clearly a no-go, and she ended up taking her route and doing that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm here for everything. Love the design, love her just in general, and I'm hoping that we do get more of her, and I'm hoping that she's not, honestly, if she's just out for blood, dude, I'm here for it. I don't even care. I don't even care. You know, usually I'm like, hopefully we can learn a little bit more and kind of develop them a bit. Nah, I don't care. If she wants to be that, I'm fully here for it. I'm actually here for it. Two fantastic different shots of us getting with her here, and then Craft ends up coming in and actually protects her in this moment as she ends up getting picked on. So it's interesting, his reasons and stuff too, because he comes into this in a situation where he talks about seeing these other people who have died and assuming that it was by a powerful mage and everything like her. So knowing she's the one who is a murderer in the situation and doing these things, he still lets all that slide by trying to get rid of the others and protect her and not allow them to fight. And I'm assuming that's just because they would have died in the situation and he didn't want to see more people. So the easiest way for him to kind of stop that is to put up a fight and get them to run away and be aware of the actual dangers that come along with it. So I'm assuming that's the case, but his lack of like really wanting to like take on violence or do anything about her, and just kind of pressing her on the situation, right? Just being like, I'm an adventurer along the ways, just trying to save these guys and everything. So I guess I'm not really confused on that situation. I guess it makes plenty of sense why he's actually there, noting that FRIEREN's going to be there and he's going to end up having to run into her and kind of praying for the best and wanting to hear more about it when he ends up seeing her later. I do like bringing him back in along this and being able to see him on his journey. And it makes sense that, you know, we're on similar pacing for the amount of time that we left and everything. So being able to have these people meet up in close enough spots that he actually like kind of bypasses it, even though he is going a little bit of a different direction, works out really, really well. We go to take the exam, and then we find out some things that you need to be 5th class or higher. We also get a little bit more info in, you know, built around the world here, where we can figure out that we go up to, I believe, 9th class. At least that was what was mentioned in the amount of people in each of the different sections or classifications. There's about 40 or 45, I think they said, in 1st class. Fern, being 3rd class, only took it because the actual examination was very close to her, so she was like, I'll just do it. And it made plenty of sense. They don't offer this exam too often or too much. It's once every 3 years. You know, it's very specific when they do these things. So of course we're gonna have to be not wanting to fail here, because then we literally can't do anything or go any further. I really like the design of the person behind the desk here. I wish that we got more of them, but it is what it is. I love Fern kind of having a problem with FRIEREN not wanting to do this and trying to drag her back in this and being like, I need you. Like, you can't just run away here, and we have to do this. I also love her old charm here, or her old whatever it is, the pendant on her necklace here being able to be used, and this guy actually recognizing it and remembering it or understanding the significance of it. While we still haven't really been explained of what it is, besides for the fact that it's just, you're a mage if we do have this, and it's the only thing that kind of allowed other people beforehand to allow her to know that. But it is a very significant thing, and it ends up working a little bit in our favor, as she's able to get certification basically to do this. Now, I don't know if they were like, all right, you're good enough to be like 5th class, you know, and they just claim that, or if they were just like, no, we'll just pass you to be able to take it. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter too much, but we'll have to see. It will matter if we end up failing this and she doesn't actually get a certification in any sort of way. But we'll end up seeing. I love just the montage, us training for 2 months beforehand, her rolling over Fern here, insane. I cannot fucking believe that. And then we end up taking on the exam. We get introduced to 3 people here, or 2 people here. Keep an eye on both of these 2. I don't remember exactly what they said. I'll pull it up when I'm editing and stuff, and I'll have a little bit more, I guess, to think about them. And then we also have these 2 who are the ones who are actually keeping their eye out for them. I'm assuming are also very important for whatever it actually comes to. Ubel's, of course, the one that we do have to worry about. She's very scary for us to be concerned with. We get tested in parties, in groups, and this is where we end up getting our squad. 2 girls who have always been friends together, or not friends, or friends, yeah, they are, and being together, of course, so it works out, but they are always fighting. So this puts a perfect situation for FRIEREN to be put into, the person who's had to take on this motherly figure kind of for a little bit, right, and watching after these 2 younger ones and directing them and guiding them and being a teacher for them. Now kind of has to shift her focus and do the exact same thing for 2 people that she hasn't really met before, a little bit more chaotic, right? They take the fighting and stuff that Fern and Stork ends up having and instead puts it on a complete different level here, which I think is great. She now also has to put into action the things that she's kind of learned from observing how Sign was able to handle the little situations and stuff that they had before, and how she wants to kind of break that down and do it. Fern is in a very difficult situation here with the 2 people that she ends up being in a group with. Don't know anything about Buddy here, but we do got some concerns, and I'm very nervous for how she's going to actually interact and work within this, and how this is all going to go. We do have to be cautious of that. Hopefully we do get a little bit more into that next episode, because that's the group that I'm more so interested in rather than the FRIEREN one. But I'm assuming FRIEREN will be able to capture it, as they say at the back end of this episode, no issue. And then after they're able to capture it, we'll go back, and then we'll be able to see whatever time's still remaining as Fern and her group still continues, and be able to see the journey and stuff that they've been kind of going on up to this point. We get to see some of the other designs in the groups and stuff, which I think are really, really cool. They do a really good job at killing some of these designs and making them good. So I hope that some of these aren't just one-off characters. I am assuming they're all very powerful mages, so they are people that we might have run-ins or, you know, have to interact with at some other point point throughout the story, and that kind of would be the hope. We got this bird, we basically got to catch it. It moves at the speed of fucking sound, so of course it's going to be a difficult thing for us to be able to get. We have to return here, everybody in the group and the bird in the cage. If anybody's not here, the entire group fails. If anybody leaves the barrier that's set, the group fails. I'm assuming if anybody dies or you kill anybody else, the group probably fails. So Fern's group has a little bit of things to worry about, and they might not end up going too well. We get great FRIEREN faces throughout the episode, which I absolutely love. And then we dive a little bit further with these girls here. Once again, love the character designs, and I think they're fantastic. Them as characters, gotta know a little bit more about them. Don't absolutely love them yet, but they do have a fun dynamic together, and I think that'll be fun for us to kind of go a little bit further. We end up finding out here that this girl doesn't have any mana, or she does, she can't detect it very well clearly, as we end up seeing the big bird that comes out from the sky later on that FRIEREN warns everybody of. So we do have to be a bit cautious. And then we figure out that they are smart enough, right? They listen to these things, even though they are fighting. They are aware of how strong, like, somebody like FRIEREN probably is, and are very cautious in this moment. So while they might not seem like they're taking it too serious, deep down they probably are, and you know, this is a good enough group for her to kind of end up going with. I like seeing that we do work together very well. Each of them have different abilities and things that kind of work well. We're able to stop and free the bird here in the situation, or not free, but freeze it, and then the bird's able to move too much, and that's where we end up figuring out how, you know, its abilities and everything are going to work and why we're going to run into problems. But being able to see how they do have such good synchronization together and can work extremely well. It's just how can FRIEREN kind of work her way into this group and actually fit properly to make it work. We adventure a little bit further, and then we get attacked by it. Of course, FRIEREN has her whole little dialogue and conversation here about their feelings towards each other and how they end up acting. She says she hates her. She doesn't. Like, there's no way that she does. And this person, of course, who sticks around her, and you willingly, you also do as well, they get along extremely well. I think she just hates more so how she kind of interacts with her, or how she kind of treats her in these situations. But I do really appreciate, like, the idea of, like, I work better when, or saying the idea like I work better when people praise me or whatever, right? Like, and I can kind of grow from that type of thing. But immediately shutting that down as like an idea of like you were spoiled and like treated in this selfish way by your parents in a way that kind of has led you to believe these things. But it's not actually the case, because you're going to probably become content with where you are, and you're never going to really progress and become like a better person, or, you know, stronger as a mage or whatever in these situations. So we have to push you, and that's why you have to have somebody who is complete like opposing you in these moments, right? And in certain moments when they feel like that it is necessary, will praise you and give you the proper things that you do want to hear, but also has to kind of push you in those moments and not allow you to feel like you can just have everything, and I can't just like praise you for all the little things that you do, as you actually have to like push and try to properly accomplish all these different things. And I think that that's like a good mindset for us to kind of have. I like giving like the compliments here and just constantly asking for more, and then getting kicked off. And then it's like another moment here, it's like, didn't know you could fly. Like, oh, you can actually do it, because when you're pushed and your back's against the wall, of course you absolutely can, and you are capable of many things, you know. And these are things that you didn't really realize because you've been sheltered so much and you've never had to push yourself in these situations, but this other person has given you these experiences and these things. So it's like, you absolutely don't hate her, right? They've given you so much, and you just kind of have to reflect on those things as time kind of ends up passing. We find some stuff within the water, or like looking at it, it's because of like the feeling of the rain or whatever that she was saying, but then like also just the way whenever they look at the water, the way it looks, it's weird. And FRIEREN seems to think that they find something that can help them capture this, and it could be useful. So I'm assuming we're not going to have any issues as a group here getting it, but more so we're going to have issues with Fern's group, and we're going to have to see how they kind of progress and actually do it. And then we might have further things as we develop the arc a little bit more, and go into different steps that might cause more issues for FRIEREN and stuff. I do wonder also, like, will the future steps no longer just be team based? Or are they going to be like free for all stuff? Or are we going to have, you know, one-on-ones? Or are we going to have fights against each other? Like, what is the proper way that they want to kind of go about this? And I'm assuming that's going to be the case, that we won't just keep FRIEREN and Fern separated for the entirety of the arc, but we could pull multiple different things, and I'm kind of just excited to see the direction that it goes. Excited that we got a bunch of new characters, plenty that I'm interested in ways that we can head with the story after the fact that is over. So yeah, very thrilled to see kind of what's to come. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really didn't think there was going to be much for me to say, but I feel like I just rambled forever about this, so who knows. So this might be longer than I actually thought it ended up being, but that's all right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought. Leave any comments down below. Leave a like and subscribe. They do mean a lot to me. I will be back for episode 19 next week. You guys have a good one though. Peace.